Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, I hope you're well, God bless. Welcome to another episode of Crazy Talk with your host, Bipolar Christian. That's me. Me from my top secret bunker at Lake 16. I want to sincerely thank everybody who watches, takes time to watch these videos. God bless you. Watch the whole video. That's great. If not, watch part of it. It's great. If you think I'm an idiot, that's great. I reserve the right to be wrong about absolutely everything. But if you agree with me, if you enjoy what I have to say, I appreciate that. Everyone who's subscribed, I'm going to have a shout out video coming up here real soon. But thank you, sincerely, thank you. This whole channel is just an outlet, just a means for me to express myself. Because for everything you learn, you come to a point, if you actually seek out the truth, you love the truth, and you acquire truth, there comes a point where it's not that there's nothing left to do but share it, but you got to kind of make room. You got to make room for more stuff, because we're never going to stop learning. My dad always told me, the day you stop learning is the day you die. And if those who are walking around who think they know better than everybody else have more to learn than everybody else. So all that being said, I just want to impart what I got, man, and just if you hear something that I'm way off base with, put it in the comments. Hopefully I'll see it, and I can stand corrected, because I just want truth. I guess I'm starting opening with this because I'm going to talk about crazy stuff today. It's crazy talk. I'm going to talk about some very fantastic things, and I suppose I'd like to start off with some more down to earth, out of this world sort of stuff, because I always got to talk about just being ready, because stuff is happening. It's on supernatural levels, on natural levels, and just all across the board things are happening. Reality is not what it used to be. I'm going to get into that later. Money manipulation. The stock markets, the economy, U.S. manufacturing is at the lowest it's been since the Great Recession in '08. Manufacturing is down. Companies are fleeing the United States. China's a horrible mess. Yeah, and communism is a god-awful, wretched, demonic world system. Socialism has some decent principles, but is not a viable option considering human nature. It consolidates wealth and power, and there will always be manipulative, malicious, sneaky, conniving, power-mongering psychopaths there to take advantage of everybody trying to help everybody else out. So we gotta bring it in. What are we going to do to stop all this stuff? Look, what can we do? Take your money out of the bank. Take your money out of the bank. Put it in precious metals. I don't trust cryptocurrencies. That may be the only way to buy or sell. Mark of the beast, sort of crazy stuff. So much stuff to talk about, and there's so many details to elaborate on. So many videos to make. I try and touch as many bases as I can as quickly as possible. As part of my downfall. Okay, yeah. So pull your monies out of the banks. Pull your money out of the banks. Buy gold and silver. Buy food and water. Don't vote for people. Don't vote for representatives. Don't vote for senators. Vote on issues, sure, certainly, but get out of the voting system. Get out of the construct of paying other people to run your life for you. That's what politicians are. They're people who have said, "Hey, we can get these people to run their lives for them. Get these people to pay us to run their lives for them." Dude, politics is the number one scam on the planet. And I believe many politicians are probably very altruistic. They have the best intentions at heart. Or they think they do. But they don't understand their heart. They don't understand their nature. They don't understand the nature of government. Anyways, off track. What can we do? Represent yourself. Stop voting. Bring everything back down to the local level. Forget the federal government. Bring everything back to the local level. Back to your county, your town, your neighborhood, your home. These are where you can exercise the most difference. This is where you can have the most impact. That's where change is made. Change is made around you. And if no one listens, just keep changing yourself, preparing yourself. The world is messed up, but your world doesn't have to be. Oh man. So all that being said, I just want people to be ready. And one thing that will help people be ready is if we pay attention to people who have gone through more than we have gone to, people who have suffered to greater extents, and that that have survived it and that have come out the other side with their humanity intact. I spent this morning listening to the testimony of an orphan who grew up in Africa, and he, in his mid-teens, he got into witchcraft for because that's what Satan does, and he takes advantage. He takes advantage of them with shattered backgrounds. He takes full advantage. He is a lion seeking whom he may devour. It's a lion hunts something that's been separated from the pack, from the herd, for whatever reason. And there's plenty of us. I'm not an orphan. My story is a long one. I am in tune with the plight of the afflicted, of the lost, of the orphan. Man, I've seen things. The pain and the suffering of society's neglected is not lost on me. Look up the orphan trains around the turn of the century, and you're gonna get into some strange history when you start researching orphan trains. The cause of the orphan trains is quite a mystery. It's not much of a mystery if you're into alternate history. You can figure these things out. UAP channel, just the letters, UAP. It's a lot of great work on mud flood, on alternate history, a lot on the true timeline of our existence, whatever this existence is. It's just crazy stuff happening. But sorry, I keep pausing. I keep getting off track. It's pretty emotional. It's been a really emotional few days, man. I struggle with depression on a very, very intense level. The orphans. Man, he got into witchcraft and his whole testimony. So, like, when we hear about things, the more fantastic scientific testimonies, like, if you're familiar with, I can't remember the dude's name, Max Spears covers this material a lot. May he rest in peace. He's been dead for a while now, but Max Spears, his material, and this is probably why he was murdered, is because he touches on a lot of this. This is the overlap of magic and technology, and there is a distinct overlap because magic and technology are the same things. It's a means of manipulating and channeling and manipulating energy and matter, energy, to one's advantage. So to manipulate the masses and the people, it's to garner power, it's to garner influence, to power, man. It's power. It's what magic and technology is for. It's the only purpose for it. Look, we could live perfectly healthy, long, great lives just with a fresh, natural diet. We don't need pharmaceuticals of any degree. We don't need these chemical concoctions jammed down our throats. But the agenda is to wipe out mankind. The agenda is to wipe out humanity. And it is an alien agenda. Fallen angels, demons, aliens are fallen demons. I've had night terrors. I had night terrors. Sleep paralysis. I'm sorry, no. I had absolute night terrors for a long time, like real. That stuff's legit. But sleep paralysis is not sleep paralysis. Okay, it is so scary. It is so scary. And stuff's happening, dude. Stuff's happening. So it's not just like, oh, you're paralyzed. It's such a diminishing term. And I hate it. I hate it. God, I hate it. I hate society. But I love people. And I hate what people do. I'm a complicated guy. I'm somewhat conflicted, but I have tremendous resolve. Praise God for that. I won't give up. Can't give up. I don't know how to give up. I want to give up, but I can't. So let's keep moving forward. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys. I'm gonna do a shout out video very soon. There's a few other videos on my Bipolar Christian channel. If you want some more intimate stuff, some more personal stuff, go check out the Bipolar Christian channel. The videos aren't tagged. I'm all over the place. Forgive me. So, the devil, what he does, how does he work? What is his influence in society? If you don't even believe in the devil, but you believe, man, forces are real. Whether you believe in a conscious mind that guides and directs the forces of darkness and the forces of light or not, negative evil forces, immoral forces are reality, and moral forces and positive forces are reality. Death is real, life is real, and they're conflicting, even though they kind of feed into each other in the most bizarre and confusing ways. Satan definitely factors into society, whether you believe in him or not, and the demonic presence, the demonic descriptions, and manifestations. Look, the Lovecraftian old ones. Are you familiar with the H.P. Lovecraft? Uh, and then man, I can't remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. The guy who read Lovecraft's books and then did all the artwork, kind of almost 80 years after Lovecraft wrote the novels. The guy Geiger, I think. Yeah, he man, it's evil. It looks evil. Well, and people will bring up this argument. Well, it looks evil to you. Maybe these things are beautiful in their world. What an ugly world. I'm honestly, and to each their own. I like the trees. I like the birds. I like the squirrels. I like the dogs and the cats. I love the deer and the bear. Respect. And the wolves and dude, all the animals and God's green creation and God's good earth and the flowing water and the lakes and the clouds, dude, and the clear blue sky, not this hazy white off blue mess that they've made today. But what are they doing? They're poisoning us. It's the agenda of the Lovecraftian old ones. Their purpose is the extinction of humans. And this is confessed, and I believe in confession through entertainment because the Bible tells us that God will do nothing except He reveal it first through His servants, the prophets. And I believe this is a law of conduct for the higher powers that Satan can't do anything unless he tells it first, and he does this in an offhanded way, so people will be dismissive of it. And this is cultivating. This cultivates your consent by passivity. If the scenario is brought to you in any fashion, on any stage, if a scenario is brought to you and you don't address it at its root, at its core, at its spirit, at what manifests such ideas, you condone it. By not rebuking the spirit, by not rebuking the premise, we condone, accept, allow, and give power to darkness, perverted mindsets and lifestyles. When we do not speak out against what conjures these desires, what moves them, what sponsors them, we condone them. And do not condemn them. We need to condemn them. Condemn the spirit, condemn the idea, condemn the ideology, because it will spread like a poison, and it has, and the world is suffering, and it's going to get worse. Geordie Rose, the guy who's primarily responsible for the D-Wave computers, he talks about summoning. And they're not demons, they're more like the Lovecraftian old ones. So you can see this theme. Pembrose wrote, he was a Christian author at the same time as Lovecraft. And dude, he gives the other side. He gives the other side. I understand Helen Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society was emerging at the same time as Lovecraft was writing this stuff. It was a very profound time. I do believe, man, it was some kind of reset. Oh man, so much to talk about. History, dude. Go visit the UAP channel. Just the letters UAP. Watch a few of his videos. This stuff's crazy. So, but he says that with the D-Wave computer and with what they're doing over at CERN and rituals like when they completed the Gotthard Tunnel over in Switzerland, the ceremony that they had, the multi-million-dollar ceremony to celebrate the opening of that tunnel was totally satanic, and they even said it on CNN. Is this a satanic ritual? But they said it kind of offhanded. But it was so overt that no news company could get away from talking about what it was, man. And they're bringing this stuff out in the open, and they are summoning. The director of CERN has said they want to open a veil and something could come through. And Geordie Rose says that these Lovecraftian old ones have intentions and they have desires and they don't hate people, but we're going to be like ants to them. I've said in other videos, many ants have been destroyed without even the knowledge by man's progress, without man even knowing how many ants he stepped on. It's not a comforting thought to think they see us like ants. But their technology, D-Wave computer, is being used for magical purposes, summoning, channeling. I think about television broadcasts. We channel it. Stuff comes through the channels. So all this to be said, like what fashions our reality. There's certainly a shared existence that we all have, but as I've touched on in other videos, when you wake up someday and you're experiencing and you're grappling with something like the Mandela effect, and you can see it in your own life, and something like flat earth, all of a sudden one day you don't live on the world is completely different all around you. The world is completely different. It's shaped different. It exists in a different kind of universe. Dude, it's very overwhelming. But God, the God of the Bible, is above and beyond all of it. He is my rock. Every time I turn to Jesus Christ, it gives me strength. It gives me hope. And I'll stand by it till I die. Praise Jesus. Amen. Seek him while he may yet be found. But what we put in our heads is important. What we feed ourselves. That's why I read the Bible. I try and read the Bible consistently. And I try and take it at its word. Absolutely. I've had many run-ins with pastors. Just, dude, you don't listen. You don't get it. Well-intentioned. God bless them. I love them. To each their own. I wish the best for everyone. What we put in, so seeing that reality isn't what it used to be, as is a quote from the movie Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter's Mouth of Madness from the 80s, starring what's his name? The dude from the Damien movies. Like Damien 3 and stuff. Neil, something Neil. He was in Event Horizon. He was the weird doctor in Event Horizon. But, so you read the Bible, you get the Bible in your head. This is why I stopped playing video games, because like I'd close my eyes and to pray or to fall asleep, and I would see zombies, I'd see the video game. And I don't like that. I want to see heaven. I want to see my God and King. I want to see angels. I want to see heaven. But when I closed my eyes, I'd see other things. So I stopped playing those games. But in that same movie, the premise is this author, Sutter Kane, he's written a bunch of books, a bunch of horror novels, and they've sold more than in his lifetime than the Bible has in all the time it's been around. So the premise of the movie is that we shape our beliefs, the world collectively, especially if the majority is in agreement of what reality is, then that's what reality will be by and large. It's crazy times. My ex-wife was a paranoid schizophrenic, highly delusional, and I gotta tell you, dude, like she was way off base in a lot of things she thought was going on, like not even close. Like, wow. But then she would say some stuff, she's utterly, totally convinced of some stuff that I couldn't refute. She was absolutely spot on with a number of details that was kind of alarming. And Everybody else is like, ah, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not true. He doesn't exist. It's like, well, so I wrote a whole poem about it, and it's basically this. She met someone in LA named Andy Head. For a variety of circumstances and reasons, she thinks she killed him. And she tried telling everybody that, he was real. And because of her, he's dead. And they need to find him. And said, there's no guy named Andy Head. There's not. And I actually knew a guy named Andy Head when I was growing up. Was right in the same age group Rosalind said this guy was down in LA. And she never knew. I played Little League with Andy Head's little brother, Evan, in Alaska. And I never told her about that. It was a very minor detail. I never brought that up to anybody. And when she was talking about it, but then she thought her parents were robots on one occasion, or more occasions, actually, a lot more. But there were periods where she thought her parents were robot clones, trying to steal her DNA and stuff. And schizophrenia is bad. Schizophrenia is bad. But reality is not so structured. In the Mouth of Madness movie, the lady says, look, sane and insane aren't so far apart. If they're not, and they're not, and they're not. Because there are lots of things that Rosalind would go on in her delusions. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to her, I'm like, well, I'll just try and bring her back to the immediate reality, because of the big reality, I couldn't always tell her, no, you're wrong, that's not true. Because I tried to be absolutely as honest with her as possible, while being as comforting as possible, and not be dismissive of her and what she was feeling and what she was thinking, but always try and reassure her that even if that is true, even if those things are true over there, and I would absolutely tell her, no, your parents aren't robots, clone cyborgs, we know that. But other things, about Andy and a variety of other issues that cropped up. But not to be dismissive, but to let her know that, yeah, well, even if that is true, there's a reality right here around you immediately that is also real, and it's much more immediate. And you can deal with this, you can touch this, you can hold this, you can talk to this, and it will respond to you. If you or someone you love struggles with mental illness, my prayers are with you. It is not easy. There's very little hope. It's a lot of work. And things get better and then they relapse. And they get better and they relapse. And that seems to just... One of my sisters struggled with paranoid schizophrenia as well. She ended up taking her life. It's real, man. The battle. Light and dark. Life and death. Man, everything you boil is life and death. Everything comes down to life and death, dude. This is what our life is. It's quality of life and quality of death. Sorry this is heavy. Life is heavy. So all the movies we watch, all the books we read, all the music we listen to, these things are brought to us by writers. Just like this is brought to us by writers. People who wrote this Bible tells us men of God were moved by the Holy Spirit and spoke as they were moved. And scribes wrote what they said. Some of the epistles Paul wrote himself. Some of them were penned down for him as he orated them. And we get thoughts in our head, and thoughts are sponsored by the writers that we listen to. The music, the movies, the books. Our thoughts are sponsored, encouraged, or rebuked by the influences we choose to bring into our lives. On that note, talking about what we put in our heads, I want to talk about the parasitic zombie fungus. I'm not sure what all countries and continents it exists in, but it was found, I believe, originally in South America, and it would attach itself to ants, and it would take control of the ant's mind, and it would march the ant up a tree to the edge of a branch, where it would sit it there until it was snagged up by a bird. The bird would eat the ant. The fungus would move into the bird, take over the bird, where the bird would be either killed or eaten by giant bird-eating spiders, which were eaten by native tribes in South America, or the birds themselves would be caught and eaten by the people, tribes in South America. Now, no documentary that I have seen, no article that I have seen has followed this fungus all the way through the food chain, or has been able to, if they've tried. So who knows how effective it is against humans, but these funguses exist. Parasitic zombie fungus. They take control of the brain. They do, and they living in crazy times. And I very much wish for the best for everybody. This was just a vent. This was just to talk, just to let stuff out. I love you all. Things are crazy. But you know, if you take your mind and you consider the most fantastic potential for reality, the most fantastic possibility, because the laws of possibility know no bounds, but you take your mind out as far as you can. You establish a parameter. And you can come back in, and then most of what we experience will be within the parameters of what you've considered. You see? And then things won't be too shocking for you. If something like Mandela effect comes and punches you in the side of the brain, you maybe never saw it come, because I never did. This has always been my strategy. I'll consider the most fantastic things, and that creates a very wide parameter for potential, and then things that I happen to experience in my life are more often than not well inside that parameter. Mandela effect and flat Earth, they're out there, dude. They're out there. If they were within the parameters of my expectations, man, there was a lot of uncharted territory in that parameter. But I'm okay with it, you know. I'm okay with these not under just growing and learning in this whole, like, it's bringing the spiritual world really into the physical world. It's really pushing me to commit more and immerse myself more in spiritual efforts and prayer and meditation and study and focus and shunning of distractions. It really is. So, hey, with that, I've been talking for half an hour. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope life is treating you good, and I'll be doing a shout-out video here very soon. Crazy Talk, the Bipolar Christian. I love you all. God bless. Thank you very much. I hope you're well. Peace, courage, and wisdom with you all. Amen.